A room with a view of the whole city. Fashion luxury, that's what he's got pretty.
I have once again travelled with Emirates in the first-class suite on the Airbus A, and I would like to share a little interim report with you. How was the current quality? Overall, the check-in process is good. Everything works well. The fast-track system is effective, and the lounge is in good condition. So, there is always the opportunity to visit a first business lounge. This is a standard program at Emirates, meaning that guests who book business class, as well as first class, have the opportunity to try a lounge. One advantage could perhaps be for those who have the priority pass, as there is the possibility to visit priority pass lounges at certain airports. Then you are not so dependent on the Emirates lounge, as there are certainly airports where the Emirates lounge may not be as top-notch as it was in this case on this flight from Bangkok to Dubai. The overall flight quality? There is a bit more to discuss this time, as I believe it is time for Emirates to eliminate the staff on board. We don't need staff in first class, who, first of all, have no desire to work, and secondly, provide poor service. And I can illustrate this with a very clear example, as Emirates has an excellent first-class product. This Airbus A, first class, is fantastic. There is the shower room, and there is usually a staff member, often a woman, who comes from the Philippines and pampers us there. So here too, while I have had one or two negative experiences, in most cases we ensure that the shower is well prepared. And when we then go to the shower area, everything is nice and clean, everything is prepared so that we can enjoy it, and afterwards it is prepared again for the next guest. Additionally, these staff members also assist with the service. And we had the case that on this first-class flight, the 14 seats or suites were completely booked, but half of them were already sleeping. This means that these 3 employees who are responsible for the service didn't really need to provide any service at all because they were all sleeping. Then there were some who were watching television and only eating small snacks. For me this time, it took an endlessly long time for anyone to come at all. And then there were, and this is the point, I get up in between to go out. Where is the problem? And then the problem is that these staff members are preoccupied with themselves. Then they met among themselves. Then they chatted, then they ate and drank, and were preoccupied with themselves instead of with us guests. And that is why this is the first video today where I clearly and distinctly articulate myself and also send a message to Emirates. In the future, I would wish that we have a maximum of 1 person at Emirates in first class who is responsible for technical matters, such as the television screen is not working, the seat is not functioning, and that the staff responsible there should be able to adjust it, and that there is someone in charge of programming the meal preparation, etc. It means that all other staff are indeed not necessary because at least 90% of the employees are so very poor that they cannot actually present the catering which is dictated by the caterer to us as it should be. Out of 100 Emirates flights, I might have 2 flights, 2001, where the staff managed to present the food with service and quality as it should be. All the other 98 flights have such terrible service that I would say it would have been better if we had done everything ourselves. And I will also explain how and why. If it is no longer possible for me to ask a staff member to please bring me sparkling water, ice cubes in a separate glass, and lemon on the side. And this staff member has nothing better to do than bring me the mineral water with ice cubes and lemon in a glass. And when I say, but I wanted it specifically, oh yes, I am so terribly sorry about that and I will take care of it right away. I will forgo that. I want to forgo that in the future. I can only hope that Emirates takes this message to heart and understands that we, the guests, we premium guests, are fed up with this poor service. We would rather handle our service ourselves in the future. This means that if we have an AI-controlled automation that we can program, where we say, we take the food out here, push it in there, press a button, and get this food right on time. Done. Or if I have caviar here, I press the button and then I get my portion of caviar. And if I want champagne, I also press a button here and then this automatic system starts, which checks in the champagne for me. I want it to be a self-flight first class, where we guests can take care of ourselves, where we can choose the service ourselves, and where it simply returns to being enjoyable without having to deal with any bad staff who are unmotivated, have no time, and make our experience worse. And when we express criticism, they show us such a miserable negative face in return. It means nothing else. I experienced an Emirates first-class look in the A. The hardware is fantastic, truly still a gigantic first-class product. When I sit there in this small suite with space, a large TV, and when everything is working technically, I can adjust the seat, then I have my soft pillows, and I can sleep. I can do so many things that are incredibly beautiful, and that make the Emirates first-class experience one of the best first classes in the world. So my try number 1 for first class is Emirates, Singapore Airlines, and Japan Airlines. And it is truly such a fantastic pleasure that unfortunately the staff ruin it all at the moment when they simply have no desire, when they are no longer engaged, when they are preoccupied with themselves, and it can be impossible for me to get to the front area, for example, where the spa area is. So I have the 2 showers on the left and right, and then I also have this spa area where I can do self-service. Neither any toast nor any apple. No products left over. No one cared that I could choose things in the self-service area because there was simply nothing left. There were no apples, there were no sandwiches left, and there was no fresh fruit. All these little things that we consider as just in between when we say, oh, I'm going to the bathroom and then I'll take something nice with me. Nothing was prepared, leftovers from something. And I have to say, I haven't experienced such poor service in a long time. It was truly subpar. And that is why I am now firmly convinced that if we no longer have these staff members in the future and we can provide this service ourselves in the first class segment, then we, as guests in a fantastic product from Emirates, will certainly have more joy than if we constantly have to deal with staff who only bring negative vibes to us and to the wonderful experience that the Emirates product actually promises. They contribute nothing but negative energy, and that is why I sincerely hope that this video serves as a trigger and a beginning for Emirates to consider how far the first-class product can be transformed into a self-service first-class area. I can imagine that caviar, the food, these things are easily manageable by us, that we can do it ourselves. Or I mean, there is a person there who helps us with a question, to press a certain button, or if there are technical problems, that they take care of those technical issues. Everything else that I do not want to do without is this fantastic Filipino service provided by the staff in the shower room, as I would naturally like to continue receiving this great service from them. But the quality of the flight staff, including the flight attendants and the flight manager, is 90% so negatively poor that I really find myself saying, in the future, please bring me some caviar, make me, I don't know, a few chips to go with it, and then leave me alone. That's why the Game Changer will certainly be a successful product in the future, because I can close the door and not have to deal with the bad vibes from those negative employees at Emirates, as I can simply close the door and say, this is now private. So what remains of an Emirates first-class product? Top-notch in hardware, but a flop in software.